You heard when Mrs. Ware was here that we are going to have a quiz. It's our last one for Unit 1. Wow. We start Unit 2 when we come back from our fall break, which I know you guys are very excited about. So when you go here to your quiz, you'll see your directions. Whoa. I know, right? This looks like the wrong one. Yep, 1.3. We don't want 1.3. Where am I? Math quiz 1.4. Make sure we're on the right one. So we are going to be taking 1.4, quiz 1.4 today. So our learning target is to review for sure. Give me 1 sec, honey. We are going to review our skills, which is mainly problem solving. That's what we've been doing the past few days. So participate in this review. You're going to do so much better if you do. And then we'll take the quiz 1.4 on Think Central. Surnay? You can just put it in the basket. Thank you. So the reason we take our quizzes, we take between 2 to 4 through every unit is just to help Mrs. Harrison and I know who needs a little extra help and what I should do the next day for math. What do I need to focus on? That's why, girls, I've been doing those 9s trick videos because I could tell from our quizzes we needed that. So it's helpful. Please participate to be successful. Read the problems carefully. Use those clues to decide whether to multiply or divide. Draw a picture, write and solve an equation, and reflect. Does your answer make sense? So looking at our multiplication chart, this is reminding me to get our riddles for our memorization. While I'm doing that, I want you to tell me, what does 3 times 6 equal? When you know, raise your hand. 3 times 6. Wow, hands are going up. Hands are going up quickly. So exciting. People are using their tools. You have a math spiral in front of you. You can draw a picture. If you are at home, remote, make sure you have your math spiral today and a pencil. All right, raise your hand if you are remote and you would like to unmute and share. 3. Clara, will you unmute and share with us? 3 times 6.
18.
How do you know? Good job, you're right.
I counted by 3s 6 times.
She counted by 3 6 times. That's a lot. Let's do it with her. Ready? 3, 6, Lucas, 9, 12, 15, 18. Did anyone do it differently? Sunny Poe.
I counted by 6s, and I knew 6 plus 6 equals 12, and I know 12 plus 6 equals 18.
She counted by 6s. Give me a thumbs up if you did that as well. 3 times 6. 6 more is 12. 6 more is 18. I see Reese did that. Nice job. All right, 18 divided by 3. 18 divided by 3. Raise your hand when you have it. How many 3s are in 18? $18 divided by 3. When you know, raise your hand. I would say every hand should have shot up immediately. Why would I say that, August? Why would I say every hand should have gone up immediately? Why?
Because if you just did the problem, 6 times 3 equals 18, and 18 divided by 3, it will equal 6 because you were multiplying the number that you started with when you were going to get the answer.
All right, August says we just did the problem, the inverse. We did 3 times 6 equals 18. If we know 3 times 6 is 18, 18 divided by 3 is just the inverse operation. It must be 6. It's a fact family. Thank you, August, for sharing that. And so many of you knew that. Your hand shot up immediately. All right, we found our riddles. We're going to read them, go through them again. Do you remember the 3 for tree and the 8 looks like a snowman? I swing here 24 hours a day. We talked about the fact that there's 24 hours in a day. Wish there were a few more, but that's okay. So let's read it. Here we go. 3 times 8 equals 24. See a tree which sounds like 3 with a snowman who looks like an 8, swinging 24 hours a day. What sounds like 3? Tree. Who is swinging in this tree? Snowman that looks like an 8. Good job. How many hours each day does the snowman swing? 24 hours. Let's say it together. 3 times 8 equals 24. All right, here's another one. Oh, this one we learned yesterday. 9 times 3 is 27. Take a look at that picture. Remember the lollipops? You guys remember when we looked at that tree that looked like a 3? So let's say it together. 9 times 3 equals 27. See lollipops which look like 9, growing in a tree for 3, being pulled by wagon number 27. What does the number 9 look like? Lollipops. What the 3 sounds like tree. What number's on the wagon? So when you picture the lollipop in the tree, you should picture 9 times 3 equals. And let's double check that with the 9s trick. And if I were to put my 3rd finger down, I'd have 2 fingers to the left. Does it look right, Mrs. Harrison? And 7 to the right. 27. So 3 times 9 really is 27. So we've got a couple tricks to help us with that. That's how I'll do it from now on. Okay, 6 times 4, what does it equal? Look at the 6 people. Do you remember the woman, the lady holding the 4-leaf clover with a 24-inch waist? That's funny. Let's say it together. 6 times 4 equals 24. See 6 children and a lady holding a 4-leaf clover with a 24-inch waist. How many children are there? 6. What is the lady holding in her hand? A 4-leaf clover. And how large is her waist? 24 inches. Let's say it. 6 times 4 equals 24. We have so many 4-leaf clover riddles. Here's another one. 4 times 4 equals. He has a pair of 4-leaf clovers because we have 2 4s, multiplying 2 4s as our factors. And she's sweet 16. So let's read it. 4 times 4 equals 16. See the boy giving the girl a pair of 4-leaf clovers for 4 times 4 in a box of sweet 16 candy. 4-leaf clovers are for numbers what and what? 4 and 4. What is in the sweet 16 candy box? Yep, a pair of 4-leaf clovers. 4 times 4 is sweet 16. I love it, man. It's good. All right, we've got 2 more, and then we will move on. Another snowman that looks like the number 8. And here's another 4-leaf clover attached to this cactus. I'm not sure that really happens, but he says, I'm thirsty too. 8 times 4 is 32. Thirsty too. 8 times 4 equals 32. See see the snowman who looks like an 8 in the desert, which makes no sense, with a cactus growing a 4-leaf clover, saying, I'm thirsty too, for 32. Who looks like an 8? What's he looking at? And what does he say? I'm thirsty too. 8 times 4 equals 32. All right, last one, Charlie, Lucas, I want whole body listening. This is how you guys can memorize these. It's helpful. 3 times 7 equals 21. So you have 3 friends trying to get into the party room with the door that looks like a 7, and it's their 21st birthday. 3 times 7 equals 21. Picture 3 people by a door which looks like a 7, saying it's our 21st birthday. 3 people are by the door that looks like a, like what? And what are they saying? Three times 7 equals 21. The people who are saying it are going to learn it quicker, because just like in OG, when we start doing more of that, when you say it and you see it, you learn it. So if you're participating, there's a group of you that are doing such a good job. Thank you. So I was going to add some more, but I think I'll wait till next week. That's a lot of them. We'll keep working on those. All right, problem solving is what we focused on. We're going to continue with that. Please remember to read, visualize, retell, look for those clues, model the relationship, find the unknown, and reflect. You have to have your math spiral when you take your quiz today. I want to see that you're drawing a picture and you're not just guessing. You know by now you've taken 3 quizzes with us. You know that we have you redo them. You have to retake it if you rush through it and you miss them all, and then we have to reteach it. And it's sometimes we find that it was just silly mistakes that you didn't really take your time. So you might as well do it right the first time and really try your best. So let's do a few that will be similar to what you'll see on your quiz today. Here's the first one. Mrs. Aubin divides 32 milliliters of water equally into 4 buckets. How many milliliters of water are in each bucket? Get your spiral, start solving. Look for those clues. Visualize water. I'm pouring water into 4 different buckets. I have 32 milliliters. I know my total. Look for keywords. You need to write an equation, label your answer, reflect, make sure you know that it makes sense. Abby, right now, guys, let's all do this. If you are at home, hold up your spiral when you have your answer. I'm going to give you guys a hint. There is no addition or subtraction like we saw yesterday. You only have to figure out between multiplication and division today. Okay, that's a little hint. That's our focus. That's our focus. I noticed that many of you know the equation, but you're not sure how to get the answer. I like what I see Cooper doing. Can you come up and share that under my document camera?
What can you remind them again to show me when they're done?
Yes, if you are at home, please hold up your spiral when you are finished.
See Jensen really nicely. Jensen,
Did you have a question? one of our parties. Jump on this one. Yay. That's awesome. So you just did the inverse. All right, Cooper, will you come up? I'm going to share, and you guys can tell me if you agree or disagree, but I really am showing you that he had a strategy. I just want to share. Sorry, that's going to go back. Will you put it there and talk to us about it, what you did and why?
So I drew 4 big circles, and then I divided 32 into each of them.
Yeah, and what did you get?
I got 8.
All right, so he maybe wanted to double check his work. Maybe you already know 4 times 8 is 32 because it's getting in your brain from, I guess I did that, huh? I don't remember that one. Let's see if we can find that. Here we go. This is what Evie said. She's like, that's one we did. So she was already memorizing that. That's awesome. So if you already knew this, you knew the inverse would be 32 divided by 4 is 8. Maybe you don't have this memorized yet, which I wouldn't have if I were your age yet. So totally get that. This is a good way to figure it out. You're dividing by 4, so you could put 4 groups in. Those are the buckets Mrs. Aubin is pouring the water into. 1 for this one, 1 for this. Making sure it's equal until you got to what? 30, 32. All right. Nice job. Thank you so much for being willing to share your thinking. So you should have written 32. 32 divided by 4 equals 8. And we're talking about 8 milliliters. And you can do milliliters. Right?
Mrs. Aubin,
Yes, Robert.
I already did 1.4.
Yes, you did the test already this morning? So, okay, so Robert, when you see your assignment shouldn't even come up until, you think Central came up in the morning.
So I already told him that he should have waited until our instructions.
I still want you to participate, okay, buddy?
That's what I already told him.
Okay, because this is your teaching moment, and then we'll see how you did, and I can reassign it if you need me to, all right?
And all of these questions came up too.
It says that exact one was on
It couldn't, well, you know what? It changes. It changes every time. Okay, Robert, can I ask you a question? Did you multiply or divide for this one?
I called and I haven't gotten it back.
How
On the paper,
Yeah, should we multiply? How did we know to divide? What was your clue? Robert.
because I knew that 8 times 4 equals 32.
But why did we divide? What clue? Who can help us out? What was the clue? Paxton? Yeah, a lot of you in the past have seen the word divide, but you have multiplied. So if it says divide, you should do what? Divide. That is a clue. We also know we have the total number of milliliters. You have the total. You're breaking it into equal groups. So should you multiply when you already know the total? So think about it. Mrs. Aubin divides 32 milliliters of water equally into 4 buckets. She poured 8 milliliters of water in each bucket. Would that work? Yeah, 8 4 times. But if I multiplied and I got 128, and I said Mrs. Aubin divides 32 milliliters of water equally into 4 buckets. Each bucket had 128 milliliters? Sawyer, can you come sit up here? Sit up here, please, on that little thing. That wouldn't make sense because you only have 32. It's not going to work. All right, let's keep going. So, Robert, you can see how you did. All right, the band members were standing in 7 rows. There was 1 band member in each row. How many band members were there all together? I'm going to say this one again. The band members were standing in 7 rows. There was 1 band member in each row. How many band members were there all together? This is a great one to draw a picture. I don't know. I want to know how many band members there were all together. I do not know my total. I'm trying to find it. That's your hint. Go for it. Write your equation. Hold it up when you have it. Wow, that's exciting.
Mrs. Robin, do you need anything for language reading? I know. Do you need it? Okay. I know. I hear you.
Hey, Elena, do you think you can take the quiz this weekend? On your, oh, you don't have your, you don't have your Chromebook. If you can, great. If you
Well,
can't,
I can send you the link that they can get on the computer. I had to figure that out.
I got what you like, yeah.
I'm going to pull out of my handy dandy can. Serene, what did you get?
I got 7.
Daddy?
All right, if you got the same answer, give her sparkles. You're right. How did you know to multiply and not divide?
Thank you.
Divide, and also it asks me how many members there are.
I love that she said, well, it could say how many, but I think it's the all, because it might say how many are in each group, or how many groups are there. But because we're wanting to know a total, like all together, that's a clue, isn't it? It won't always say divide, but we got lucky with one of them. It did say Mrs. Dobbin divides. Sometimes it'll just say shared. It might say put in equal groups. So you don't know, you just got to think about it and visualize it. All right, you should have gotten 7 times 1 equals 7. Let's reflect. The band members were standing in 7 rows. There was 1 band member in each row. There were 7 band members all together. So here's 1 row, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's my 1 band member in each row. That's it. That's what your array would look like. It's not much of an array. All right, let's check out another one. Okay, here's another one similar to what you might see. Marin, you ready? There were 80 students getting ready to go on a field trip. They were organized into groups of 10. How many groups of students were there? Okay, write your equation. Good thinking, good thinking. We know how many students we have. There's 80. I need to know how many groups there are. If they're in groups of 10. Nice. Good job. Good thinking. Nice. Girl. If you guys do as well on the test as you're doing in the review, we're not going to have any finalized.
Yeah, it's so easy. And all my tests are easy. Oh,
Nice job.
I done the last. I did this Oh, no, it's not multiplication.
August, can I see yours? Looks good. Okay. Sawyer, what did you get? 8. What's the equation?
80 divided by 10.
All right. How did you know to divide?
Because it's you already know the answer.
Not the answer, but the
The
total. Because you don't know the answer. This is our answer. Because it's asking how many groups of students were there. We already know how many students there are, but how many groups? All right, let's reflect and see if this makes sense. There were 80 students getting ready to go on a field trip. They were organized into groups of 10. There were 8 groups of students. Can you picture 8 groups of 10? What if I said 800 groups? Would that make sense? Could you have 800 groups when you have only 80 students? You don't even have enough for one in each. Okay, good job, you guys. Let's try another one. I don't have not too many. Am I losing someone else? All right, Robert has 9 cookies. He gives 1 cookie to each of his friends. He has no cookies left over. How many friends does Robert have? Now again, you're either multiplying or dividing. We know the total of cookies. You are giving 1 to each of his friends. Visualize that. We want to know how many friends he has. We already know our total number of cookies. Good luck. Well, you're touching it now. This one is confusing us. Try again. Oh, try again, try again, try again. Should I try again? You're good. Well, try again. No, this one got us. Okay. All right. Okay, so this one's a little tricky. He has 9 cookies. He's dividing them up between his friends. He's giving each friend 1 cookie. How many friends is he gonna have? How many ones are in 9? 9 friends. So I think you had to visualize him giving 1 cookie to each friend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1 friend, 3 friends, 4 friends, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are his friends. You divided up your 9 cookies. You would have gotten the same answer, but it wouldn't have been done correctly. So 9 divided by 1 cookie each tells me how many friends I have. Let's see if it works. Robert has 9 cookies. He gives 1 cookie to each of his friends. He has no cookies left over. He has 9 friends. Does that make sense? Did each get 1? Survey? You just want to know if you can go to the bathroom? Did you ask if you could go to the bathroom?
Yeah, sure.
Good job. All right, moving on. I think so. We might have 1 left. Oh, this is always my favorite one, Mrs. Harrison, because it's not in our teaching at all. Finn arranges his Pokemon cards in 10 rows with 4 cards in each row. So this one you got to listen to. This is taking your knowledge and applying it to a new situation. Sawyer, Abby, can I have full whole body listeners?
This is the way, friends, we can tell really who's really getting the ideas. And we're going.
Yeah, you have to apply your thinking to this. Oh, I didn't even notice there was a problem. All right, so here we go. Okay, did it? I picked the perfect unit for you. Finn arranges his Pokemon cards in 10 rows with 4 cards in each row. How else can he arrange his Pokemon cards in equal rows? Well, let's think. He has 10 rows with 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2, 3, 4. 5, 2, 3, 4. 6, 2, 3, 4. 7, 2, 3, 4. 8, 2, 3, 4. 9, 2, 3, 4. 10, 2, 3, 4. So this is a 10 by 4 array. How many cards does he have, do you think? This isn't one of the answers. I'm just wondering, do we know how many cards he has? Okay, how many cards do you have?
5
Okay, let me
rows,
fix this problem.
8.
How many? Who can tell me how many cards this is? Say it if you know it.
5 rows of 8.
40 Pokemon cards. You can arrange those like so. How else do you think you could arrange 40 Pokemon cards? Madison? We have 4 rows of 10, 8 rows of 10, 5 rows of 8, or 2 rows of 6. It has to equal what?
40.
So make sure these equal 40. She said 4 rows of 10. If you agree with her, give her a thumbs up. Sawyer, would you do 4 rows of 10? Sawyer agrees. They're both going to miss this. What a shame. Over a pencil. All right, Marin agrees. Maybe they don't sit next to each other during that. Yeah, that'd be better. Cooper, which one? What else do you think? They're still having a hard time.
Hey, I'm gonna take both pencils right now. I'll take both of them right now. Let's just use yellow ones and we'll talk about this later.
Because you're going to miss this and not know what to do on your test, and that makes my heart sad. All right, Cooper, what else? There's more than one answer. You are going to have more than one answer. I'm giving you another hint. Let's use process of elimination. Have we talked about that?
We do that when we cross out our ones and 8 out.
So could we arrange 40 of Finn's Pokemon cards in 8 rows of 10? I see a lot of people shaking their head. Can you explain why not, Henrik? Henrik, why could we not do 8 rows of 10? How many would I need to make 8 rows of 10? What would 8 groups of 10 be? 80. We only have how many?
40.
So it could not be this one. What about 5 rows of 8? How many would we need, Paxton? How many? We need 40? Would that work? Could we arrange them in 5 rows of 8? Sure, 5 times 8 is. So we could do 4 rows of 10 because that equals 40. We could not do 8 rows of 10 because that equals 80. We could do 5 rows of 8 because that equals 40. What about 2 rows of 6? What is 2 rows of 6, Ellie? 6, 4. 2 groups of 6. So you would have 6 plus 6, right? 2 groups of 6. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, That equals 12. Would that work for 40? No. So you would get A and C. I believe you're going to be asked more, which ones apply. It could be more than 2. I don't know. So you guys have to read carefully. You have to figure out the total like we did. If you don't figure out the total, you probably are going to be a little confused on that. If you just think 10 rows of 4, Gabe, you would probably say, oh, 4 rows of 10. That's the only one that applies. But Madison, if you know there's 40 and you really look at each one and say, well, 5 rows of 8 would also be 40. You have to do the math and you got to think. This one will get some of you. Don't let it. Think, think, think. Use your time wisely. So you are going to complete quiz 1.4 on your things to do list in Think Central. When you are finished, make sure you turn it in. Please use your spiral and pencil to help you with this. We drew pictures like crazy today. Remember what Cooper did to show you how to divide things up. You don't have all these facts memorized, and that's okay, but it's not okay to guess it when you can figure it out. You have the strategies. Any questions before I let you go take the quiz and turn it in? When you're finished, if you finish early, please work on your unfinished Think Central assignments. Okay. Then my class, you may keep your math spirals and pencils, get your Chromebook.
Bye.
We'll see you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful fall break. I can't wait to see you on Monday. Mwah.
And
Good luck. Make me proud. You guys got this.
bye.